Okay, I want you to imagine something. Picture this tiny microscopic battlefield that's actually inside your body. Right now, a war is being fought every single day. The enemy? It's this rogue cell, a mutation that could, turn into cancer. But the hero in this story? Well, that's where things get absolutely mind-blowing.
I mean, what if the ultimate cure for cancer isn't something we have to invent? What if the most sophisticated defense system ever created wasn't built in some high-tech lab, but it's already patrolling your bloodstream as we speak? That's what we're going to dive into today. We're unpacking the incredible science that suggests your body's own defenders might just be the key to winning this war.
All right, so let's meet these heroes, shall we? I mean, we all know the immune system, right? It's the thing that fights off colds and the flu, but its real job, oh, it's so much bigger than that. Think of it like this incredibly complex defense network, a hidden army of specialized cells that are always on patrol, just looking for any threat they can find. Now, this army, it's got two main branches. First up, you've got the innate system. These guys are your first responders, your rapid response team. They're super fast, super aggressive, and they'll attack anything that looks even a little bit suspicious. Kind of like the frontline grunts, But then you have the adaptive system. Now, these are the special forces. They might be a little slower, but they are way, way smarter. They're the precision weapons, your T cells and B cells, that actually learn to recognize and remember specific enemies. And in this war against cancer, that adaptive system, the smart one, has a mission. It's called tumor immunosurveillance. I know, it sounds super complex, but the idea behind it is actually pretty simple and incredibly powerful. It just means your immune cells are designed to spot and destroy those early rogue cancer cells before they even get a chance to grow. And get this, that surveillance, it's happening inside you right now. Okay, but that raises a huge question, right? If our immune system is so good at this, why do people still get cancer? Well, it's because cancer is one cunning villain. It doesn't just show up for a fist fight. Nope, it evolves. It learns how to hide. It's basically playing this high-stakes, microscopic game of hide and seek. And cancer has some incredibly clever tricks up its sleeve. For one, it can literally strip away the molecular flags on its surface, the very signals that scream, "Hey, I'm a threat," to your T cells. It can also release chemicals that are kind of like a ceasefire, basically telling your internal army to just stand down. And if that's not enough, it can even build a physical fortress around itself, a protective little bubble that our soldiers just can't get through. And that's really the core of the problem, you see. Cancer is like a spy that manages to wipe away its own fingerprints. It disguises itself to look just like a normal, healthy cell, and by doing that, it becomes almost invisible to your body's security team. So the huge question is, how in the world do you unmask an enemy that's hiding in plain sight? Well, this is where the story takes a massive turn. This is where science steps in. We're entering this whole new era of what's called immunotherapy. And it's not about poisoning the cancer with chemo. No, this is about retraining and rearming our own inner soldiers to finally see that hidden enemy again. And that brings us back to that fundamental question, right? How do you teach a soldier to see an invisible enemy? I mean, if the spy has erased its fingerprints, how do you give your soldiers a totally new way to find them? Well, the answer? It's nothing short of revolutionary. Okay, so the answer is a process called CAR-T cell therapy, and honestly, it's brilliant. Check this out. First, doctors take out some of a patient's own T cells from their blood. Then, in a lab, scientists genetically reprogram them. They basically equip these cells with a brand new custom-built targeting system. It's called a chimeric antigen receptor, or CAR for short. You can think of it like a biological GPS that's programmed to lock onto that specific patient's cancer cells. It's wild. Then they put these new super soldiers back into the patient's body where they multiply and become, well, a living drug, hunting down that enemy that was once invisible. And this isn't just some sci-fi theory. This is real. It's happening. This therapy had its big breakthrough moment with a little girl named Emily Whitehead. She had leukemia, and sadly, she was out of options. She became the very first child to be cured using this therapy. And her story proved to the entire world that, yes, reprogramming our own selves, it could actually win this fight. But as absolutely incredible as CAR-T is, it's really just the beginning. The next frontier in this battle takes us even deeper. We're talking about going from just reprogramming a cell to editing its fundamental source code. And this is all possible thanks to that revolutionary gene editing tool you've probably heard of, CRISPR. So the easiest way to think about CRISPR is like a pair of tiny molecular scissors that can find and replace specific lines of genetic code. It's unbelievably precise. This tech gives scientists the power to modify our immune cells with surgical accuracy. It's like the difference between bolting a new gadget onto your computer versus being able to rewrite its entire operating system from the ground up. You can literally program a T cell with brand new instructions, making it stronger, tougher, just a way more effective cancer killer. This is a total game changer. It's a fundamental shift in how we think about this. For decades, right, we've fought cancer with these external forces. Chemo, radiation, basically poisons. The new goal is to redesign our internal forces. So we're not just attacking the disease anymore. We're building better defenders from the inside out. We're creating these personalized, living therapies. Now, I know all of this sounds like something straight out of a futuristic movie, but it really does point toward a future of incredibly personal medicine. And it also brings up a really practical question for all of us, right here and now. So, while we're waiting for these amazing therapies to become more common, is there anything you can do to strengthen your own hidden army? I mean, how can you make sure your body's natural cancer surveillance system is working at its absolute best? Well, the answer is a huge, resounding yes. It turns out the choices we make every single day have a huge impact on this hidden army. Things like getting quality sleep, eating a healthy diet, getting regular exercise, and managing your stress. Look, these are not just wellness buzzwords. Think of them as the fuel, the armor, and the training that your internal soldiers need to be at the top of their game. So, when you really think about the future of this fight, when you think about the most powerful weapon we have at our disposal, it turns out it's probably not going to be some drug in a bottle. No. The real hero, the most powerful force, it's the microscopic army that has been inside you all along. The very system that has evolved to protect you for thousands of years. And now, finally, it's being empowered by science to win this war.